Welcome back to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura, and I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio tonight. Now, if you're new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. This channel is all about shadow healing. So we look at the past life wounds that you incarnated with, what your inner child wounds are, what the shadow is, what your archetype is, how that plays out within your relationships, especially if you're dealing with someone that is continually triggering you. We look at obviously what their inner child wounds are. This channel is all about healing. And why we look at the inner child wounds is, again, a lot of times our shadow, most of the time our shadow comes from these inner child wounds that we did not heal. And our karmic mates, or a lot of soulmates, you can consider a karmic mate. See, a lot of times people say, no, a karmic mate is someone, all soulmates are karmic mates. And the reason why is because every soulmate comes into your life to teach you something. So, depending on what you do, is what the karma is. So when we have a person that is a soulmate, that their soul recognition comes into our life, it means that this is a past life soulmate that is coming in to teach us something. And a lot of times it's teaching us where our shadows are, what our wounds are, and really so that we can dig deeper within inside of ourselves to see what we need to do to feel whole. A lot of times our soul family comes into our life and they can trigger us negatively, very negatively, right from the get-go, but they play a very significant role in our life. Now, does that mean that we're supposed to be with them? No. Just because a person it comes into our life and they're a soulmate does not mean that we're supposed to wind up with a person that doesn't treat us right. Again, soul relationships create awareness, and inevitably to bring you deeper to yourself, to let you understand really who you are on a deep level, and if you are perceiving yourself from a negative perception, what you would need to do in order to heal. Because the shadow aspect of ourself, again, takes us deeper into ourselves, inevitably to bring us to a place of unconditional love. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't get to unconditional love through pain and suffering. A lot of times we do. Hopefully, if you're on this channel, you will learn how to avoid negative karmic situations that unfold due to the fact that you know what the wounds are and the behaviorisms that come from the wounds, and also to know what your wounds are and what your behaviorisms are, because it's always the behaviorism that locks us into the false perception of ourselves. So again, this channel is all about self-exploration. Will I look and see what the hidden truths are? Of course I will, because we want to know that just because a person has wounds and their behaviors might not be in alignment with someone that acts like they care, that doesn't mean that that's not their intention or a hidden truth. A hidden truth is what they secretly really feel deep inside. And if a person has emotional wounds where they don't feel safe being vulnerable, they're not going to express this. They're not going to show you this. But again, that action of not showing you anything, would be a karmic consequence. Maybe not even in the beginning, but over time there would be, because no one wants to be in a relationship with someone that doesn't express how they feel. All right. So let's look and see what it was the connection between you and your person. Okay, this message again is going to be for Scorpio. And before I even jump in, again, if you write the word nervousness, that's going to be the word of the day. So every time I do a video, if you want to enter into winner a free reading with me, all you need to do is like, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the day. Today's word is going to be nervousness. Okay, now, and anything of any importance you can find in the description box. Check out my shadow healing subscription starting at $7.99. Comes with inner child healing, shadow healing, reparenting, as well as EFT, NLP, breath work, meditation, all the healing tools you need to heal the effects of trauma. And again, our shadows are created from trauma. So a lot of times when learning how to integrate your trauma, you need to actually deal with anxiety, deal with the triggers. And, so I teach the modalities to help recondition not just your mind, but your body, which trauma affects the body. All right, now getting back to the reading, and what was the wound? What was the past life? Our past life will give us an idea of what the wound is between you and your person. Finances were a problem. So we're seeing root chakra imbalance. Again, money has no energy except for the energy that we're giving it. So again, less evolved. So you both might have incarnated and again first met in a lifetime where people weren't evolved. Only certain people had, financial freedom. However, finances, again, is an indication of where you are in life. We don't like to say that. Unfortunately, the modern world runs itself through the earthly elements, and one of the earthly elements obviously is finances. So people that tend to not have a lot of money, they live a harder life, they struggle. So again, you might have been both born into families that didn't have a lot of money, that finances were an issue. So that is a determining factor, but that's a kind of a problem. And the reason why is because, well, I don't want to say a problem, but what it is you're going to see a lot of wounds. You're going to see a lot of wounds when there's blocks in the root chakra, because again, money has no energy except for the energy that you're giving it. So if again, you haven't evolved into realizing that in order to make money, you have to be in the vibration of unconditional love. And that only happens by doing what you love. And that's only by giving and receiving of love, which is your free will, which it's all about self-discovery, finding yourself. So again, when we're born into families that don't have a lot of money, or we watch financial struggles, then we inherit those wounds. So we're so busy trying to figure out how to make money, we're not creating ourselves. We're looking for the answer outside of ourselves. So image means a lot. The kind of car we drive, the type of home that we live, what other people perceive. The ego is running the show. See, when we realize that we're supposed to be coming from a place of unconditional love by doing what we love, then again, you become a magnet, we become a magnet rather, for anything that's in alignment with abundance. Because again, energy money has no energy. So again, finances. So again, we know that if we have root chakra in balance, then pretty much all our major chakras are in balance. Now, for those of you that don't know about your chakras, just know that we have 7 main ones that represent psychological and emotional, which are spiritual aspects of ourselves. And when we are imbalanced within a certain chakra, we form behaviorisms and habits that are in alignment with those core beliefs. So root chakra imbalance, again, we know that we're coming from a place of fear. If we watch struggle and we believe that money is hard to obtain, then we, again, are coming from a survival standpoint, where the going to, again, not be coming from our truth. We're coming from a place of lack and limitation. Life is harder for us because trying to navigate your life through a fear mindset doesn't bring prosperity. It brings more fear. So again, I'm feeling that both parties grew up that way. And the problem is that when you have a block in that base chakra, which is the first chakra, which is that root chakra, you have blocks in all your chakras. So that second chakra is all about your individuality. Well, it's, again, your money doesn't have any energy except for that what you're giving it, and really your passion for life is how you create your life, and you're going about it the opposite way. So you wouldn't know where you were going, and you would be coming more from a very logical, linear survival perspective. So you'd be imbalanced because you don't co-create with the universe through logic. You co-create with the universe through your intuition, through your imagination, through the spiritual realm. Yes, in order to be successful, you can go out and make money and work hard to obtain that money, but then there's a belief that you have to work really hard for money, that you have to do what you don't want to do to obtain money. And that's not true. That's, again, coming from a survival perspective and watching parents struggle for money or work hard for money where they were always working and never really had fun or joy or passion in their life, creates imbalance. So again, then the third chakra is all about your gut, the spirit. So being led by spirit, which when we're doing what we love and we're giving and receiving of love, and that's what you do when you, again, are creating yourself, when you're on your path. So we can see now how the first, second, third chakra and the fourth chakra are all in alignment. Then you're able to speak your truth, you're able to see opportunities, you're able to receive divine guidance. But that block in that root chakra really throws the whole spiritual body out of alignment, and everything happens in the spiritual realm long before it happens in the physical realm. So when we're looking at the shadow and we're looking at the inner child wounds, if, again, we're born into a family that struggles, we can see how, again, we're going to be conditioned to live more from a survival perspective and wind up inheriting the same wounds of feeling of lack and limitations and feeling like not good enough, because obviously money has no energy, but if we don't have any, it doesn't make us feel good about ourselves. So we inherit the same wounds because our mindset is the same. So the inner child wounds that you created were, again, this is cleansing. So it's, again, where I feel like getting very, very into spiritual practices. Cleansing would be trying to do different rituals, trying to clear your mind of the programs, the karmic programs that you inherited. So you're someone that's very spiritual. Now let's see what your person's inner child wounds are. Misunderstood. So again, I just believe that they come from a very, again, survival perspective. And when we come from our own perception, if we grew up with a lot of trauma, we're really coming from a fear-based perception, and our actions are going to be in alignment with that. And people are not going to understand why our approach to life and money and how we feel about ourselves is what it is, because no one walks around saying, I don't feel good about myself because I don't make enough money, or I struggle for money. No one says that. What they feel, however, is if they make a lot of money, they can feel confident. But if they don't have money, there's a sense of just not feeling good. And then they're coming from this perception that they're not good. And then they perceive that everyone else thinks that they're not good. And so they do things that, again, are in alignment with that thought pattern. So they're always seen as misunderstood. The person that comes from a fear-based perception is not going to have an open heart. So people that, again, feel good about themselves, that are vibing at a high vibration, realize that their identity is not based on, perceptions of who they are. It's based on where they choose to put their energy, right? It's based on creating ourselves through, again, where we put our energy. So if a person doesn't feel good about themselves, they feel misunderstood. Well, it stems from just not feeling good about themselves. So those were the inner child wounds. I'm not going to pull any more from them. We're going to look at the shadows. And the shadow part is, again, criticism, judgment. So I believe if we feel misunderstood and we don't like who we are, then again, there's a sense of again, like judging other people, feeling that other people are judging us because we're misunderstood, but really we're judging other people. And so we're actually unconsciously cutting ourselves off. And this is really what I feel like your person's wound is, because they're misunderstood. They're misunderstood. They perceive that, they feel people are judging them. But I feel as if they do things that actually create people to actually judge them. And in this case, again, they have judgments about themselves because they don't make enough money. And not even the money, the focus, but money has no energy except for the energy you're giving it. So this person doesn't know their purpose in life. They don't know what actually would make them feel grounded and be present and show up for life and have a love affair in life, because again, of the perceptions of who they are, and again, the trauma of growing up in a family that didn't have money, where you grew up in the same environment. And I feel as if you're someone that is cleansing yourself of these thought patterns. So at one time, your energy was in alignment with this person. You were a magnet to this person, like because of the same belief patterns. However, you are cleansing yours. And disrespected, humiliated. So I believe that your person feels that people disrespect them. but I feel as if they disrespected you. So again, when we have a shadow, when we have a wound, and that's what these are shadows. You wind up, when we have a shadow, we get triggered and we project. And this is what I feel like your person did. So it's not uncommon that when you are in the process of healing yourself, which is what I feel like you were doing, Scorpio, like you're cleansing yourself. And because you also had judgments of, again, who you perceive that you are because of the family karma that you were born into, and you're clearing your programs. However, it's not uncommon for us to get challenged with a karmic situation. And that karmic situation is, here's this soulmate that's coming into your life that there is a profound connection to. There's a lot of passion, and you would want it to work out. However, you both have the same wound. You're in the process of healing your wound. They have not healed their wound. So their belief system is very negative. So because they have the wound of not liking who they are, and again, at one time, I'm sure watching their family being judged because they didn't have money, or maybe again having their parents say that they were being judged, even if they weren't. They again have wounds, and when we feel a certain way about ourselves, we tend to think that other people see us through that lens. That's how we inherit the karma. So what's happened is that your person shut down, and in that they really disrespected you, where I believe that they didn't let you in because they didn't want you to see the bad financial problems that they have, that they haven't figured it out yet. Here it is, you're triggering them because you're finding yourself, you're creating yourself, and you're healing yourself, you're cleansing yourself of these karmic behaviorisms of your ancestral karma. So again, you awakened like wounds within this person where they're very negative. They're negative, and they're having a hard time believing because again, they're judging. They're judgy about you because again of how they feel about themselves. Your challenge would be to obviously keep cleansing yourself, even though this is a spiritual connection, right? It's a karmic one we see, because karma is based on what you do. And so when we're really passionate about someone and we like someone, we again would love to get along with them. So let's see the triggers and the archetypes that came from these triggers. One for you, one for your person. Let's see. Okay, withdrawn. I felt triggered when you withdrew emotionally. I didn't know what was going on and I panicked. I believe that your person, again, they perceive that you withdrew because, again, you're finding yourself. And this person's used to being codependent. People that have financial problems usually look for the answer outside of themselves. They believe that someone else is going to bring them that success. But really what happened is that you didn't cling, and you didn't let this person cling to you. They saw it as you withdrew from them because, again, they're used to that codependency, when really it's, again, you didn't withdraw. This person, again, thinks that there's something wrong with them. So they are going to have a hard time feeling that anyone could love them because they don't like who they are. I also feel like they withdrew. There's a sense that they constantly need you to chase them, to reassure them. So they tend to purposely withdraw their feelings and emotions. So they're used to dealing with people that don't feel good about themselves. And that's the thing with the root chakra imbalance. We don't feel good about ourselves when we have money problems, because that root really has nothing to do with money. Money is just a currency. It's like how they say alcoholics drinking is only a symptom, like the flu, sneezing is only one symptom. Well, it's again, your person has a wound with how they feel about themselves, and it's due to money. Money is connected to ancestral. What we saw our families do for a living, whether they thrived, whether they survived, whether our parents encouraged us to have a better life, or whether they were pessimists and didn't believe that we could have a better life. In this instance, your person grew up in a family that were pessimists. So they are pessimistic towards you, even though you're cleansing yourself. It's triggering because that's really what they need to heal. They need to really break their ancestral karma. Dishonesty. I had enough of the lies, deceptions, and dishonesty. I will find out about it one way or another. So again, I feel like the dishonesty is the fact that your person lied about who they are. It's again the fact that they make it look like they are very financially secure, but they're not. They're embarrassed about this. This is again ancestral karma. So mind you, you could be with someone that grew up in poverty, is very business minded, can make a lot of money and lose their money because they gamble it away or because they sabotage themselves in some way. They have a poverty consciousness. But again, that poverty consciousness is really a deep wound about what they feel about themselves, because that money has no energy. And so we're again living from this survival perception, or if we're living from a lower consciousness, which is we're living very indulgently, then again it's usually that type of behaviorisms that take us down. And so I feel like you didn't know who you were dealing with after a while, because they wanted you to believe, and that's why they withdrew. They didn't want you to get that close, so they wanted you to chase them. But in this, they would never give you enough, and that would keep you again in this place of lack, which, and so here it is that you be flourishing within your business, and they're going to breadcrumb you and not really let you get that close because they don't like who they are. So obviously that would bring your energy down. And so, but let's look at the hidden truths, because again, that'll really let us know what's going on. What are their hidden truths? I wish I could take back my words. So I feel like they acted like they didn't care. I feel as if they wouldn't let you get that close to them. I feel like they tried to make this connection a lot less than what it was, because again, they didn't want you to see their flaws. I replay our conversations over and over. But again, there's when we are connected to someone, for that is a past life, there's unconditional love there. I believe that your person thought that they could manipulate their way, and what they saw is that they couldn't. You were on a mission to cleanse yourself, to find yourself, to heal yourself. This person doesn't know how to do that. And so again, they actually see that you're a real person and that you really didn't do anything wrong. But when you were, again, healing yourself, finding yourself, and they saw you as if you withdrew from them. They were looking at you through their own distorted perception of not liking themselves, so assuming that you didn't like who they were, and when really you weren't doing anything wrong. They were looking at you through their wound. So again, they do replay the conversations in their head, and what they see is that you were a genuine person. Most of the people that they meet, because they're phony, they meet phony people, and because they're surface and they don't let people get in close, that's, you know, they live mainly from a lower level consciousness, which is very self-indulgent, meaning they might date a lot of people, they might sleep with a lot of people, but none of those relationships are deep, because this person doesn't let anyone get close. And here it is, you got close to them and they're wounded, they haven't healed yet, you have the same wound, your behavior awakened their wound, but they didn't act right. And now they're in a place of regret. They're in a place of having to look at their behavior, which now we see why the divine brought you into their life. We also see why what your karmic test was, because here for you being with this person, you could have abandoned what you were doing to, you know, make this person feel better, when by giving them more attention instead of cleansing yourself. And really you didn't do that, so that forces this person to like eat the karma per se, and inevitably like time for them to do some self exploration. I wish I could share my good news with you. I believe that you miss this person too, though. I want to look, and I'm just for fairness, I'm going to put these cards back because I want to look from your perception and what are your hidden truths about this person. And then we're just going to look at, again, let's see. I bury myself in work to get you. Yeah, like I believe that, again, this was a soulmate relationship, and that bond is unconditional love. So I believe that, again, that like you're hurt by this person because they made it look like you didn't really matter. And that's because their pride, their ego, they don't want you to really see who they are. So they're like keeping their distance from you. I wish I could share my good news with you. Look, you both want to talk to each other. You both want to share what's going on in your life. Even though you're in separation, I'm starting to understand our connection. So again, I believe that you're learning about unconditional love, Scorpio. I believe that this person hurt you, but you still care about them. You're still thinking about them. And they're still thinking about you. And so you have the same wound. So again, you're cleansing yourself. You are making this person, you're going to make this person heal themselves with their wound, because they're going to watch you. What they're seeing is you can live differently. There's more than one way to create success in your life. Okay, so let's just see like what actually the damage was, because again, when we see hidden truths, but we saw what the triggers were, I want to see what the actual behaviors were. Anxiety, and excessive. So they weren't too bad, although anxiety, where I believe that you both create a lot of anxiety within each other. But I believe that for you, Scorpio, this person creates a lot of anxiety because you never know what you're going to get, and they act like they don't care, and they don't go that close to you, and also you see their excessive behavior, and what I said, that they were self-indulgent, and that's again, so your person escapes from themselves and healing their money issues, which are their self-worth issues. And they bury themselves in excessive behavior, which creates a lot of anxiety for you, because I believe, Scorpio, you grew up in an environment where there was a lot of addiction, and that was because of the same reason, money problems. It's almost like goes around in a circle, right? You can say they have money issues, so I drink. But they drank, and because they drank or did do drugs, or again, whatever, gamble, whatever the excessive behavior is again why you have money issues. So it's being stuck, so we could see why it would create a lot of anxiety in you. And so we look at the archetype. Okay, hedonist inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. So I believe, again, hedonist is somebody that I do believe, again, you could be seen as someone that's self-indulgent, like you have a good life, but I don't believe that that's what hedonist is. A hedonist is someone that lives a good life and finds joys in their life. And they could be, I enjoy to take my dog for a walk. I enjoy to go for a walk on the beach. I enjoy to go fly a kite in the park. It's, again, finding the joys, the simple joys in life, and the beauty in one's own uniqueness, and being the fact that here it is, you're on your spiritual path. You are, again, are having a love affair with yourself. That's what happens when you are finding yourself and you are investing in yourself and you're enjoying yourself. So again, this person it's triggering for them that here it is, you're having a good time in life, that your vibration is high. So they're seeing things happen for you. And so it's making them still like, it's amplifying their wound. It's amplifying their wound, because it's making them feel insecure. It's making them feel like you're not going to like them even more, because again, well, you're going to see me as a loser, so why would you like me? So it's, again, when a person is wounded, they are looking at everyone and everything through their distorted perception about themselves, and not until they integrate the wound will they able to really be in a healthy relationship. Because like you said, if you're taking care of yourself and then they're looking at you as if you're self-indulgent, but really they're self-indulgent. And so there's a lot of rejection. So we're going to put that card back, and we are going to look, and we're going to see what your person's archetype is. Like what is their archetype? Oh, this one just kind of flipped over. Ooh, God consciousness. So that means they have a really big ego. So when a person doesn't feel good about themselves, and they, again, there's a feeling of lack. Sometimes they they have a big ego, that's why this person wouldn't let you get close. So they think that they're perfect. They think that people should change for them. So, that's not, this means that this person needs to do healing. And as long as they don't do the healing, they will continually get triggered by anybody that's living their truth, because they are not living their truth. They're choosing to live from a place of limitation. They perceive that they cannot, have the life that they want to have, that they can't just effortlessly make money. They're trying to obtain it from the outside. So what is the healing energy? What does spirit tell us to balance out the energy? To balance out the energy. Well, that's too many. So we are not going to take them. You're definitely not going to take them too many. When so many, so we'll put them back in, and we are going to do again. Let's see the healing energy. Healing energy, healing energy. Okay, a spirit descending. So again, the spirit part of self is God part of self. And when it descends, it means that we ground it. So for really, your person needs to ground. They need, again, to go out and find themselves, because we're not here by mistake. We're here by God's design. We have purpose. But we are really here in the physical form, supposedly knowing that we're not here by mistake, but by God's design, that we have purpose, but we're here just still trying to figure out, remember what it is. And you remember it when you're on your path. You, again, are brought to people, situations, and experiences that, again, activate your intuition, that, again, allow you to intuitively figure out what your unique path is. And it's where you're constantly co-creating with spirit, the divine, and like I said, and the universe. And the universe is conspiring to make your dream your reality. Your person is, again, coming from a survival perspective, a very fear-based consciousness. And when you have a wound in money, that's the worst place to be in. So that's the worst place of consciousness to be. You're never going to be able to get what it is that you're trying to do. And it's to embrace your exquisiteness. Again, that's the unique individuality. Find yourself. Like I said, we all have our own exquisiteness, and that's because we're all unique. So it's, again, once you find it, it's all about giving and receiving it, because, again, in doing so, you embrace your true self, and it's a way to connect on a very intimate, deep level to, again, people in your environment. Then inevitably you're going to change your perception about who you perceive you are and what you perceive you can have for yourself. So one more card for healing. Here it is. I was looking for these. How should we deal with this person if we are attached to this person? We're attached to the heart. I was going to say, with this person, peace. I am unwavering in the face of fear. I come to my senses and embrace challenge. I am determined to think with gentleness and calm. I find inner silence and become a manifestation of peace. So I feel like, again, the challenge would be, again, to have feelings for someone that doesn't think the way that you do, but it's to realize that if a person is meant to be in your life, that, and what I do think is that this person is, because the separation is creating turmoil. It's, again, making this person feel guilty. It's making them challenge their beliefs. And as long as you, again, are at that vibration of peace, and you're embracing the differences that this person is showing you, again, their belief. And that doesn't mean to go along with it, but it's to embrace where they're at, I should say, not embrace their belief, but embrace, like, who they are as a person, because really their belief of money or their perception of who they are is what they think. But if you continue to show this person sincerity, the gentleness, and deal with them in a calm manner, eventually it will manifest peace within inside them, because this person is very defensive, and they're very defensive because of, again, the wound that they have. They're perceiving that you perceive them through this level of, you know, consciousness, and you don't. It's, again, because you're cleansing yourself. You're in your own lane, healing yourself. You're making things happen for yourself. This is triggering to this person because at one time they felt as if you and them were on the same level, and now you're healing yourself. So again, you may leave this person behind. When we have a root chakra imbalance, a lot of times, again, we have wounds of abandonment, we have wounds of, again, self-hatred, we have wounds, a lot of wounds when we have wounds in that root chakra. So it's all about you keep on being on your path to cleansing yourself and being that energy of peace. And I feel like that person, you know, is eventually going to humble themselves and come around, because they want to talk to you and you still have feelings for this person. So it's inevitable when we both, two people have, again, you have two people that hold the same energy inside of themselves. It's, again, when you surrender and you come to a place of peace, you find that common ground. You overlook your wound. You, again, get inspired to do something different. And sometimes, again, somebody is the catalyst for that. And that, again, is what creates change. So I believe you create change for this person in just the way that you live, and they create change in you where you see that person can have wounds and could, you know, trigger you and be imbalanced, but you still have feelings for them. And really, the lesson of unconditional love is that. And when a person learns it and they realize that bond is still there, sometimes that's enough support that all the support that we need to do to go out and find ourselves, to create more support in our lives, including that financial support that your person is so needing, in search of, and again, so that you can obtain more, because you are in the process of clearing your karmic ancestral karma around money. All right, I'm going to leave that there, Scorpio. Bye.